Welcome to Kazakhstan's capital. May look like a set from a movie, but I can tell you it's definitely real. This is Astana. The scale of development here is crazy. It's shiny, bold, weirdly beautiful, and probably not what you expected when you think of Kazakhstan. In this video, I'll take you around Astana. We'll look at many of its modern, odd, and wonderful sights. And if you ever wanted to join the Illuminati, well, stay tuned, because this just might be the seat of the coming New World Order. Kazakhstan was part of the Soviet Union until its dissolution in 1991. Its first capital was in Almaty, which is about 1,000 kilometers south of here. And this was just a quiet provincial town called Akmola. Then, in 1997, Kazakhstan's first president, Sultan Nazarbayev, moved the capital here because of Almaty's risk of seismic activity, its proximity to the border, and its limited space for expansion. So humble Akmola was renamed Astana, which literally means capital. Regardless of the name, the city was rapidly developed with an ambitious master plan featuring futuristic and symbolic buildings designed by world-renowned architects. And people have come. Its population in 1997 was only 270,000. Now it exceeds 1.5 million. Much like the conspiracy theories surrounding Denver International Airport in the United States, some claim that Astana was built to be the future headquarters for the New World Order, a supposed global elite that will rule with a one-world government. The reasoning? Well, it was built rapidly, with massive state resources, in a remote location, with ultra-modern, symbolic architecture. So it doesn't take much digging to come across ludicrous conspiracy theories linking it to the Illuminati and even Freemasonry. Anyway, first let's kick things off with the Baiterek. Now, if you Google Astana, it's one of the first photos that will pop up. It's kind of their Eiffel Tower and one of the city's most iconic landmarks. The Kazakh word Baiterek translates to mean tall poplar, as in the tree. So the tower represents a Kazakh myth about a golden egg laid by a sacred bird in the branches of the tree of life. However, conspiracy theorists see it as a representation of the Illuminati's all-seeing eye, or even as an altar to the worship of the sun. Now regardless, visitors can travel to the top of the tower and see views of the city from the observation deck inside its golden dome. Heck, if you even feel like going full Illuminati, you can even wait to put your hand on a golden triangle containing the handprint of former President Nazarbayev. Now, I didn't want to wait in the sizable line though. Now, after you've been fully assimilated through the handprint, look out the windows and check out how orderly and planned the city is. But this also feeds into the conspiracists, who claim the cityscape was designed with all sorts of esoteric and occultist symbology. The Ak Orda Palace is the president's official residence. It looks a bit like DC meets Dubai meets something totally Kazakh. But of course you can't go inside, and I'm guessing the New World Order is being sketched out inside those offices. And since the building is flanked by two massive golden towers, conspiracists liken them to the biblical pillars that flank the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, which are also significant symbols in Freemasonry. Moving on, the conspiracists go nuts over this building. Yes, it's a giant glass pyramid, and it's called the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation. Designed by British architect Sir Norman Foster. Yes, the same person who designed the Gherkin in London, the Reichstag in Berlin, and Apple headquarters in California. This 77-meter glass pyramid is meant to symbolize and encourage harmony between world religions and ethnic groups. It hosts the Triennial Congress of World and Traditional Religions. But for a few, it's just more confirmation bias, since it's obviously a direct reference to the Illuminati's pyramid imagery. Occult influence, right? Oh, and in December, the Opera Hall in the lower level of the pyramid will host the grand finale of Asia's Got Talent, which, as far as I can tell, is not a production of the New World Order. I don't think. At the opposite end of Nurzal Boulevard, the plaza that runs through the heart of Astana, is a place that is yet to draw the side glance of conspiracists, the Khan Shatyr. But even our secret overlords need to buy clothes, order Starbucks, and take the kids to see an animatronic T-Rex once in a while, don't they? Well, this massive transparent structure is the largest mall in Central Asia, and it's actually the largest tent in the world. It's 150 meters tall and was designed to resemble a yurt. British architect Norman Foster designer of the pyramid I mentioned earlier, was also behind this architectural feat. Inside Khan Shatyr, there's a ton of entertainment options. A theater, a food court, huge variety of mall stores, and even an indoor beach resort. We stayed in an Airbnb near here and visited a number of times. Now, if you need a breather from all that crazy modernism and glass, the Hazrat Sultan Mosque is a peaceful and traditional stunner. It's the largest mosque in Central Asia, and it was built to honor Kazakhstan's cultural and spiritual heritage. And its name pays tribute to a revered 14th century Sufi scholar. Kazakhstan is a majority Muslim country, and Kazakhs identify with their Muslim heritage, but their religious practices are pretty moderate compared to much of the Muslim world. Wearing a headscarf or daily attendance in mosques is not really that common, and alcohol is pretty widely available. Architecturally, the mosque blends classic Islamic design with traditional Kazakh elements. It features white marble walls, intricate calligraphy, and spacious prayer halls that can accommodate up to 10,000 worshippers. And since Freemasonry is strictly prohibited in Islam, I guess the conspiracy theorists aren't too suspicious of all the lovely geometric patterns in the design here. If you want to learn a bit more about Kazakhstan's long history, the nearby National Museum is huge and packed with rich and diverse exhibits spanning ancient to modern times. Highlights include the iconic Golden Man, which is a reconstructed Saka warrior clad in gold, treasures from Scythian burial mounds, and immersive displays on nomadic culture with yurts, traditional clothing, and musical instruments. Visitors can explore Kazakhstan's role along the Silk Road and learn more about the country's modern history. Strangely enough, though, no exhibits of Illuminati history. Once the hot summer sun gets lower in the sky, people come out in droves, and the plazas and parks that were deserted midday rapidly fill with families and strolling couples. The walking paths along the banks of the Ishim River are lovely to stroll on in the evening as well, and have plenty of local eats to choose from. Conspiracists claim that Astana's futuristic architecture, full of pyramids, domes, and symbolic shapes, is proof of a secret Illuminati cabal, or that this is the hub of a soon-to-be instituted New World Order. But surprise, there's no real evidence for any of this, beyond just wild speculation and coincidence. In reality, Astana's bold design is about projecting Kazakhstan's national identity and global ambitions. The architecture reflects a blend of tradition, modernity, and a desire to emerge on the world stage. If this were really a secret base for an elite takeover, why make it look so obviously like one? I actually found the city to be fun, energetic, welcoming, and a little strange, but in a good way. Astana is one of those places that you can't fully explain, you just have to see it. The people were great, the sights were jaw-dropping, and the weird but fascinating vibe makes me want to come back. So some logistics if you want to come here. Astana has a modern airport and is well connected to Europe and Asia. For tourist visits under 30 days, visas are not required for many nationalities, including the EU, much of Asia, and the Americas. Getting around Astana using the Yandex Go rideshare app is easy and super cheap. For example, a 25-minute ride from the airport to our Airbnb cost under $6 but most of the rides we took were half of that. There's scooter and bike share rentals available as well using the Whoosh app. We visited in mid-June and the weather was wonderful. Highs around 80 degrees Fahrenheit, lows around 70. However, be warned that winter is super frigid here, and Astana is one of the world's coldest capital cities. And the city's river is typically frozen from mid-November until early April. The currency of Kazakhstan is the Kazakhstani tenge, which is currently about 500 to the US dollar. We actually didn't use any cash during our 3-day visit. Credit cards were accepted literally everywhere. Kazakh and Russian are the main languages spoken here. English is not widely spoken or understood. You'll find Google Translate will definitely become your friend. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this helpful, a subscribe is sincerely appreciated and helps me to continue the channel.